I am recording the video and today's topic is polymorphism. Oops, concept for beginners. What is polymorphism? Object-oriented programming is a different concept allowing developers to build logic code. One of these concepts is polymorphism. But what polymorphism? Let's discuss. Polymorphism is one of the core concept of object-oriented programming and describe situation in which something occur in several different forms. In computer science, it describes the concept that you can access objects of different types through the same interface. Each type can provide its own independent implementation of this interface. To know whether an object is polymorphic, you can perform a simple test. If the object successfully passes multiple ISA or instances of test, it's polymorphic. As described in our post about inheritance, all Java classes extend the class object due to this. All objects in Java are polymorphic because they pass at least two instances of check. Different types of polymorphism. Java supports two types of polymorphism: static or compile time and dynamic. Static polymorphism. Like many other ops languages, allow you to implement multiple methods within the same class that use the same name. But Java uses a different set of parameters called method overloading and represent a static form of polymorphism. The parameter sets have to differ in at least one of the following three criteria. First, they need to have a different number of parameters, one method accepting 2 and other one accepting 3 parameters. Second, the types of the parameter need to be different, one method accepting a string and another one accepting a long. Third, they need to expect the parameters in a different order. For example, one method accept a string and a long and another one accept a long and a string. This kind of overloading is not recommended because it makes the API difficult to understand. In most cases, each of these overloaded methods provide a different but very similar functionality. Due to the different set of parameters, each method has a different signature. That signature allows the compiler to identify which method to call and binds it to the method call. The approach is called static binding or static polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism. This form of polymorphism doesn't allow the compiler to determine the executed method. The JVM needs to do that at runtime. Within an inheritance hierarchy, a subclass can override a method of its superclass, enabling the developer of the subclass to customize or completely replace the behavior of the method. Doing so also creates a form of polymorphism. Both methods implemented by the super and subclasses share the same name and parameters. However, they provided different functionality. Late binding. Sometimes you want to use an inheritance hierarchy in your project. To do this, you must answer the question which method will the JVM call. The answer manifests during runtime because it depends on the object on which the method gets called. The type of the reference which you can see in your code is irrelevant. You need to distinguish three general scenarios. First, Your object is of the type of the superclass and gets reference as the superclass. So, in the example of this post, a basic coffee machine object gets reference as a basic coffee machine. Second, your object is of the type of the subclass and gets referenced as the subclass. In the example of this post, a premium coffee machine object gets referenced as a premium coffee machine. Third, your object is of the type of the subclass and gets referenced as the superclass. In the coffee machine example, a premium coffee machine object gets referenced as a basic coffee machine. Superclass reference is the superclass. The first scenario is the pretty simple. When you instance a basic coffee machine object and store it in a variable of type basic coffee machine, the JVM will call the brew coffee method on the basic coffee machine class. So you can only brew a coffee selection. Subclass reference is the subclass. The second scenario is similar, but this time we instance a premium coffee machine are reference. It is a premium coffee machine. In this case, the JVM calls the brew coffee method of the premium coffee machine class, which adds support for coffee selection. Subclass reference is the superclass. This is the most interesting scenario and the main reason why we explain dynamic polymorphism in such details. When you instance a premium coffee machine object and assign it to the basic coffee machine variable, it is still a premium coffee machine object. It just looks like a basic coffee machine. The compiler doesn't see that in the code, and you can only use the method provided by the basic coffee machine. But if you call the brew coffee method on the coffee machine variable, the JVM knows that it is an object of type premium coffee machine and executes the overridden method. Summary: polymorphism is one of the core concepts in OOPS language and describes the concept wherein you can use different classes within the same interface. Each of these classes can provide its own implementation of the interface. Java supports two kinds of polymorphism. You can overload a method with a different set of parameters. This is called static polymorphism because the compiler statically binds the method called to a specific method. Within an inheritance hierarchy, a subclass can override a method of its superclass. If you can initiate the subclass, the JVM will always call the overridden method, even if you can cast the subclass to its superclass. That is called dynamic polymorphism. In building robust software, you need to write flawless codes. To improve your code writing, try Netrios pre-code profile, prefix words with .NET, Java, PHP, Node.js, Ruby and Python. Thank you.